Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. We are continuing on with the botanical themed resin. Now, if you saw the last video, it was around here on the last video where I thought how lovely it would be to try something like this. So in today's video, we are of course using the molds and shapes molds, and we all now know that molds and shapes are closing. You've only got a few days left to get your orders in by the end of March until they reopen in August. So if you are able to do that, then now is the time. So like I said, I wanted to see what it was like, right? I got to that point in the video and I was like, this would be beautiful left, right, as is, right now. Pour resin on the back and keep it really simple. But I already knew where I was going with that video, so I carried on chucking everything in. Then I decided to just immediately film another video and keep it minimalist, like super simple, delicate, beautiful, just some temporary tattoos and stencils. So the mold I'm using, of course, is the elongated Druzy Edge. Now, the code for molds and shapes is in the description box down below. It is CCC10. Honestly, I think the best molds they've ever brought out are the Druzy Edge tray molds. I am just so in love with them. But of course, guys, you can use any mold. You do not need this mold. If molds and shapes are not in your budget, any mold will do. First up, temporary tattoos. If you've been with me a while, you will know I am a big fan of temporary tattoos in resin, and I'm putting those temporary tattoos directly down onto the silicone. It works a dream. But of course, this does mean they will need top coating afterwards, which is absolutely fine. And these are the temporary tattoos that you can buy for your skin if you want to have fun and see what it's like to have a tattoo on your arm. They are the exact same thing. I got them from Amazon, and of course, the designs that you can buy, oh my goodness me, endless. So another professional wipe with the underbelly of my apron just to make sure the surface is nice and dry before I pull these back. Now at this point I hadn't put enough water on. It's a fine line between complete saturation and using way too much water, because you don't want the water to go down into the crevices of that Druzy Edge. That was my biggest fear on this mold, because you can't really see it. So you just want to use enough water that the temporary tattoos are gonna slide off, but not too much. And I would definitely recommend sliding them off like you see here, as opposed to just pulling them straight up. There is a chance that you'll rip the tattoo at that point. Now, I absolutely love this design. I love the symmetry. Another professional dry with the underbelly of my apron, because, you know, nothing but professional tools up in my craft room. I love the symmetry of this. So just cutting your temporary tattoo directly down the middle, just put half and half either side. I didn't want to overshadow the tray. I just wanted that hint of it. Now, would you believe me if I told you? Of course you would, because you know me. I can't even find the beauty blender that I was using the day before for the previous video. You know, the beauty blender sponge? I've got 4, or a pack of 4 or 5. I can't find them. Okay? So I'm using a cut up sponge to do this. Now we're using this large plastic stencil, the same stencil that I used in the last video, but I decided to go bold right across the center of the tray. Very, very zen, whilst keeping it minimal. And I'm using this sponge instead. It still does a good job. There is a little bit of a cleanup. It doesn't cling to the mica powder as well as a beauty blender would, but I have to roll with it because I haven't got the time to be searching for beauty blenders. Honestly, my craft room is a little bit tragic right now. This is what we're looking like. Now, at this point, I do need a clean up. So I'm using cotton buds with isopropyl alcohol and or an alcohol wipe would do a great job. Like, I'm just being super careful not to wipe off any of that mica from the stencil. And of course, I don't want to rub away any of that temporary tattoo. At this point, I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it here, but then I thought, no, there's a gap. There's too big of a gap, so I'm gonna bring back the bird. I loved the bird from the previous video, so again, out with the silk screens. And guys, I can't find the bird. I think the bird that I used in yesterday's video, or in the other day's video, and the beauty blender, they're just sitting somewhere staring at me together in their happy little smug way. Like, she can't see us, can she? No, I couldn't, all right? So I am using a fresh bird. Now, lesson learned from the last video, because sometimes my brain doesn't connect with what I'm doing. I put the silk screen straight down on the tray. Of course, that lifted up the temporary tattoo. We don't want to do that. So this time around, I'm cautious, I'm aware, and I'm just cutting around the silk screen. But this gives problems, because now I haven't got much edge of the silk screen to play with, and of course I don't want that mica powder getting absolutely everywhere. So now I'm having to create an edge to prevent that from happening. So it was a little bit fiddly. Could I have done the bird before the temporary tattoo? That was a question in my last video, and honestly guys, I think adding the water for the temporary tattoo really would have been detrimental to the mica powder that was already sitting in the tray. That is why I made the decision to do the temporary tattoos first, get the water element out of the way before I add anything else to the tray. So yeah, just having to cut around and make a relief cut and try my best to cover up the edge of the silk screen. Well, sorry, cover up the tray around the silk screen so that my cleanup isn't mammoth, you know, so that it doesn't go absolutely everywhere. Now, the mica powder I'm using is the Resin Pro. This is not chameleon. This is a simple mica powder. I think it's bronze. I want to say bronze or brass or copper, along those lines. Resin Pro powders, if you've never used them, the Sahara range is my absolute all-time favorite mica powder. Not sponsored. I do not work with them. But genuinely, I adore their mica powders. So the bird is in, but I did make a little bit of a mess around the edges. Honestly, that mica powder is like resin. Does what it wants. So I'm using a cotton bud this time around and some isopropyl alcohol that I've just got sprayed off to the left hand side, like dipping the cotton bud in, and then yeah, doing my best to clean it up, but you don't need to sit through that, so we will move on. Before I pour the resin, we're keeping this minimal. Like I said, before I pour the resin, I'm just using that sponge with the leftover powder and just kissing the edge of the druzy. I'm not going full in. I'm not creating a gold edge. I'm just kissing the edge of that druzy. Now, for me, the background could be absolutely anything but black or dark at this point. If you put a really dark background, you're just not gonna see those tattoos. Now, in the last video, you'll remember I said in that video, I've made way too much resin because I'm filming for the next video. This was that video. So this is resin that I mixed up in the last video, and it is the Apex. So in the Apex, I am putting in some white liquid pigment. Now, I've now got the Let's Resin white liquid pigment, but I've still got tons and tons of the Vista black and white as well. So I am using the Vista because those pots from Let's Resin are nowhere near as big as the Vista. So I'm going to make sure I, use the bulk first. So yeah, white liquid pigment in the back of this. I just felt like it would be the most zen. White and gold, such a beautiful combination. Of course, it could be anything. Blue, pink, yellow, you name it. It could be anything, just not dark. Otherwise, you'll lose that temporary tattoo. So in with the white. Of course, I didn't have enough. Typical Claire style. I either make too much or too little. So I did end up having to make another little bit just to fill up the tray. And would you believe I made just enough? Honestly, it's days like this when the sun's shining and the birds are singing, and I made just enough resin. I honestly feel like I'm winning at life. I know that sounds wild, but I just made enough, guys. And if you know, you know. It's that feeling of absolute accomplishment. Okay, 24 hours later, it is time to demold. And again, we're going for pared back, simple, almost zen. And as I demolded the tray, my first initial thoughts were, wow, this is definitely giving me zen vibes, right? It is definitely calm. It's everything. My second thought was I absolutely hate it. It was not what I wanted. I didn't know what it was. I genuinely didn't. I was just staring at it like, no, I don't like it. I don't like that giant leaf print. I love the edge. Oh my gosh, guys, the edge is giving milky quartz. If you are into crystals or rocks, please let me know what that edge reminds you of. It's like pink. What is the pink rock? It's giving pink, milky quartz vibes. Love the tattoos. Don't like the big expanse of space in the middle. Don't like it at all. Don't like the giant leaf. It's just not... I mean, hate is a strong word, okay? Hate is a strong word. I just dislike it immensely. That is where my patrons come in, because I videoed all of this for them and I was like, guys, what do I do? I don't like it. I don't like it. It needs something. A lot of my patrons were like, it needs green. Claire, add a leaf, add a fern. Now, I didn't want to add actual leaves because they might float, right? And I already had this order with Amanda Towgood, but it hadn't arrived yet. Purchased, not gifted or sponsored. Okay. Bought this myself with the support of my patrons, of course. So I'll link Amanda Towgood from Resin Supplies Den here on Facebook down below. And this has arrived just in time for the video to be completed. Now, she's very fast with her orders. I only just ordered it the day before, so it's all good. Now, we've got the large sheet of little ones, like I said on screen, perfect for your key rings, earrings, jewellery, bookmarks, you name it, the little ones on the right. For comparison, a giant sheet of Monstera on the left, and I think they're banana leaves, I'm not entirely sure. This one, obsessed. This is a bit of me. Thank you very much. These parrots in flight, stunning. Not for this tray, I'm looking for the leaves. For this tray. The parrots are a no-no. Those colours just simply do not match. But the leaves... Now, my patrons went definitely down like a 90% majority. Yes, add green leaves. So this was the route, okay? Look at this one, guys. Stunning. The parrots are stunning. I know we're here for the leaves. But look at these parrots. They're so beautiful. If you are interested in these, of course, just head on over to Amanda Towgood. I will leave her details down below. Just tell her you want this sheet, or you want a bit of that with a bit of that, some of those leaves and those parrots, please, on a sheet. She will do whatever you want, and she can customize the size. Made here in the UK. Now, at this point, I know we're going with the leaves. Like it said on screen, I don't even want to cut them up. It's such a pretty sheet. I didn't want to cut them up, but I knew I had to. Again, possibilities are endless. I did say a few videos back, I'm not gonna become a sticker channel, and I feel like at this point it's almost like throwback to 7 years ago when I tried resin for the first time, and I said, don't worry, I'm not going to become a resin channel, guys. And I said those words. Little did I know that that video would change my entire life. And here we are. Now, listen, I don't plan on becoming a UVDTF sticker channel. All right, I don't want to use UVDTFs in every video. But I just love them at this point. I'm in my UVDTF era, okay? On with the UVDTFs. Now, I have sped this section up for you. Now, if you loved this tray as it was when I demolded, I suggest you just hit that like and leave your comment right now. Because I fear that this video is going to divide the internet. I truly do. I fear that this video is going to divide whoever is watching into a Marmite love it or hate it camp, because honestly I lost myself a little bit creating this tray. And when I say lost myself, we're not going to look too deeply into that. I just mean that I love the green leaves. I love the green leaves more than what I'd already created on the tray. And every time I added another green leaf, I was regretting the decision to put that big, massive, in-your-face gold stencil in the middle. And then it was almost as though, well, I've put a few leaves on now, so I have to keep going, right? I have to go all around the edge to tie it all in, so that it's just not, it's not just going to be 3 leaves at this point. I'm adding more and more and more. And then I was like, at what point do I stop? Like, don't want to cover the whole surface, obviously, because I love the temporary tattoos. But it's that gold. That gold was eating away at me. It was, as the kids nowadays say, it was irking me. It was just not for me. I didn't like it. It was too much. So my plan really was to just try and take away attention from that big splodge of gold. I like the bird. I think the bird looks cute and dainty, and I could have gone a bit easier on the powder, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's what I mean when I say I lost myself a little bit, because every leaf I added, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I don't, as in, I want to love. I want to love it. And I just didn't. I didn't feel like these leaves were making me love it more, but I preferred it, you know? I preferred it with every leaf. I was like, yeah. Okay, I like it more now. I like it more now. Add another leaf. Okay, yes, I like it more. So, but I still wasn't obsessed. You know, sometimes I'll share something and I'm all, you know, I just love it. But this was not one of those days for me. However, the idea to add green absolutely transformed this tray from I hate it to I actually kind of like it now. It's definitely added another bit of depth. It's added more visual yumminess. I didn't want to cover that bird. I didn't want to go anywhere near it. And at this point, I knew that it was the gold leaf. It really was. The whole time, it was the gold leaf. Now, the only way around that really is to stick something straight along the centre, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to stick green leaves all over the centre, you know. Now, I did have some leftover green. It kind of got caught on there and I didn't want it in the centre. The only way to get this bit of UVDTF off, I'm not even kidding, was to dig a friggin' hole. Dig a hole in the resin, which I knew would be cleared up with resin when I top coat. But it was this leaf. It was still saying, we're still here, Claire. We're still here. So guys, I suggest you look away right now and I'm going to do a criminal move, okay? Some of you, you might even mention it in your Discord chat. It's criminal what I'm about to do, but I just couldn't bear the gold. I felt super strongly about it. I'm going to cover it with a temporary tattoo. Now, I have been saying this for years. If you're just not happy, slap a tattoo on it and it makes everything better. But in this case, it might not. It might just take the tray from bad to worse. And for those of you who loved this tray as soon as I demolded it, this is really going to hurt. And I know that, and I'm sorry. But for me, the gold was too much. It was overpowering everything. And I didn't want that gold to be the main character. I didn't want it to be the star of the show. In a way, I just wanted to remove my my mistake or not mistake. For me, this is better. I know some of you might not agree with me, but I love this. I now love this. I love the chaos. I love the depth. I love the fact that it's still very zen. And it's almost like you have to look more now. You have to look harder and see what on earth is going on. You can still see the gold leaf underneath. But now we've got this absolutely stunning temporary tattoo over the top. So for me, this was the right move. I get that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And I truly do. I know. I did not run this past my patrons. I didn't, for the simple fact that I was just filming. I'd already poured the resin at this point to top coat. So I was under time, you know, there was a time, what's the word, guys? Menopause brain. There was a time restraint. Anyway, that word. So I didn't run it past my patrons. I went with the green that my patrons suggested. Okay, professional wipe down, making sure that it's all dry before the top coat goes on. I'd already mixed up the resin, which of course is Apex. Yeah, it was a radical move, but I'm so much happier now. I sometimes want to do something that just doesn't play out and I'm not happy and a temporary tattoo covers it. But the one thing I really, really love, right? I love the fact that that gold powder, copper, bronze, whatever you want to call it, it's so strong that, you know, you can see it through the temporary tattoo. Of course you can, right? Because the temporary tattoo has gaps. but it's got this really powerful metallic shine. And I just think adding that tattoo has just brought it exactly where I wanted it to be. Pared back still. You know, it still isn't really a chuck it all in technique. It's been pared right back down. Now this is it, 24 hours later, we are fully cured. We've got the top coat on. I'm so happy with this tray now. Am I obsessed? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but I definitely love it. I love it so much more than I did when I first demolded. When I first demolded, I thought, ooh, cool, very zen, very pared back. Immediately turned to, no, absolutely not. Don't like it. Got to change it. Got to do something. Patrons, please help me. They came to my rescue and said green leaves. I put the green leaves in. Still, for me, that center part, it was that center that just got me. I love it. I love it now. I love it. I'm not obsessed though. I'm not obsessed. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you would have done. Like if you got as far as putting that chunky big green leaf in the middle and then you demolded and you weren't happy, what would you have done to bring it back and save it and bring it back to something that you loved? What would you have done? Let me know in the comment section. If you have not used all your hypes yet, please use a hype and hype this video out and hit that like button if you've run out of all of your hypes. Well, you know, hit the like anyway, yeah? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It is free. I would love to have you in my crafty corner. Thank you so, so much if you have watched to the end. I appreciate you all so much. And if if you've been in the live chat as well, I also appreciate you immensely because you're kind of trapped and you're stuck with me. And I always feel like that's a lot of pressure to come in to a live chat. So I appreciate you all so, so much. And I will see you all in the next video where we will be diving straight back into those juicy, beautiful UVDTFs from Amanda Towgood at Resin Supplies Den. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.